I'm going to be reading Tamala's story. My name is Tamala, and I have hereditary ataxia, SCA2. I grew up with ataxia in my family. My grandmother and all her siblings were affected with the disease. So little was known at the time. I had one great uncle that was known as the town drunk. Another committed suicide, and my grandmother was a hermit. It must have been scary for my ancestors not understanding what was happening to them. My grandmother had 3 children. One was affected, my mom. Once a gene of this type is not passed on, it stops. Therefore, my aunt, uncle, their children, and their children are not affected. My mom had 2 children and both were affected. My brother died at 50, not from ataxia, it was from pneumonia, resulting from the inability of not being able to eat well, choking, getting food parcels in lungs, and they got affected. I also knew from a young age I had a 50-50 chance of inheriting, but try not to worry about it. In 1991, I got married, and in 1994 we had our first child, a little girl, and in 1999 we had a son. My kids keep me active, and I'm so thankful to them. My husband knew before we were married there was a chance of me having this disease, and he says to me that he loved me then, and he loves me now, till death do us part. I also inherited ataxia. When I was 38, I started noticing little things. A fear of stairs, depth perception seemed wrong, and when I was tired, slurred speech. When I was 40, I found out I was pregnant. My symptoms seemed to pale when I was pregnant, and I was never sick. I gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. She was such a good baby. She slept through the night at 1 month, and I like to think the Lord knew I had trouble moving around at night, so he kept me asleep. In 2010, my husband got laid off, and to stay within the company, we had to move 16 hours from home. That really threw me off. I was so scared of the unknown. I was so nervous all the time. My husband had to withdraw the kids from school. I couldn't be around people. The first month we were in our new home, I was physically ill. I faced a lot of challenges since we moved here 1 year ago. Loneliness was one. Feeling like no one understands, and depression. The cold seems to affect me negatively, making me stiff. Therefore, it's hard to walk in the winter. Also in the winter, it snows a lot. I'm so scared of falling that I can't go out alone. This drives me crazy because I've always been a social person. We found an awesome church, and the people there are wonderful. I'm totally comfortable there, and they don't ask me about my disability, but if they did, I think I'm to the point where I could share. I go to ladies' events and Bible studies alone. In June of 2011, I met a fellow ataxian online. He invited me to an awareness event for the family. I went, had a great time, and met many others with ataxia. Boy, they were just like me. I don't feel so alone anymore. I go to Chicago for NIF support groups meetings and communicate via Facebook with other ataxians. It's like a whole new world has opened up to me and I have a new family.